Elias, how was last night?
Don't talk about it.
Okay.
It was scary. Someone was lighting the sky on fire.
Shit, that's crazy, man.
Kept exploding and going boom, 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 boom. Everybody in the streets were like, oh, cool.
Did you go out and try and figure out who it was?
It was me. I did it.
Yeah, I went out of my house like an old southern man with a wife beater and slammed the screen door open. Said, you kids get off my lawn. I don't care what's going on outside. This is my property. Then I beat my switch in my hand and all the kids ran away. All 2,000 of the kids downtown for the fireworks.
It's true. Every one of them ran, scrambled in the same direction.
Disclaimer! Crossing the Line is not a show intended to bully or harass anyone. Do not go out of your way to find or mess with the authors featured on our podcast. They make what we do possible, and we love them. And you. Thanks. Enjoy.
Well, it's that time. It's Friday the 13th. This special is spooky.
The special is swinging. Steven, why don't you read my shirt?
Shit. There's a squiggle, and then there's hose are complimentary. I can't read that. And then serving hoe cake since 1989.
That's right, brother. Pound it.
Found it.
It's a very George shirt.
I like it.
That's a Paula Deen original.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's what Paula Deen's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Go to Savannah, Georgia. Try the Paula Deen burger today.
If that fucking controversy didn't destroy that place. Ugh.
No, it's probably stronger than ever now.
I hope so, man. Ugh. That was ridiculous.
Paula said no publicity is bad publicity, then dropped the N-word again.
Fucking, I hope. I'd do that. Fuck.
Steven, what's your favorite thing about Paula Deen?
Paula Deen, I like that she's just a southern chick who cooks and that's about it. I like that.
Elias, your rebuttal?
Is that all you like, or is that all she does?
That's a complicated question.
You said it. You tell me.
I mean, I guess other than that, being as, that is kind of just what she does, but I do like her I do like her, her fondness for butter. That tends to be pretty funny.
I gotta say, butter is much better than cooking oil for a lot of things. Like, I've been using it, and I'm just like, I would prefer to use this for asparagus or any other vegetable on the frying pan than like oil. It doesn't really. It's just better.
Anytime you're like cooking something and you want like flavor, butter is usually the better thing, because like oil really
Steven,
adds
we don't
nothing.
like flavor.
Well, I mean, like if you're cooking something that you don't want the butter to like intrude on its natural flavor, you would use oil, whereas butter, if you need to add something that could help.
People that defend it as like a healthy option is like, it's like
Right.
2 teaspoons of butter is so much better for, I'm gonna say vegetables again, than like the tablespoon of oil that you would use normally, just like flavor wise, and it's not that bad for you. It's gonna make a huge difference. Anyways, that wasn't my question, the Paula Deen thing.
Okay.
Oh, I almost thought we broke tradition there.
Oh shit.
I was getting excited.
That was
Lucky 13.
No,
I mean, you haven't asked yet. We can still, if you want to.
Wait,
if you want to go down this route.
my tradition of making up questions that...
Hold on. Did you see the cold open I edited for the last episode?
No, I haven't actually watched it yet. I haven't had to drive anywhere distance-wise.
Alright, check that out real quick. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to Crossing the Line, a fanfiction podcast where we read, review, and critique fanfictions for your listening pleasure. We have the same 3 bundle of chuckle barrels.
Root beer barrels.
Root beer barrels.
I love root beer barrels.
Who doesn't?
I know, right? Too bad they don't do the thing that Pee-wee thinks they do.
How many episodes of this do we have to make before YouTube lets us search ourselves?
It's a very hard-fought battle between us and like the gay K-drama of the same name.
I will destroy them.
We can harass them
I
until
hope
they
your
change
phone's
their
muted.
name.
I literally can't find it. It's so dumb.
Did you look up cast after it?
What do you mean?
Like Crossing the Line cast.
I've been doing Crossing the Line podcasts.
Oh.
Oh my god, Crossing the Line cast is a lot of gay K-drama, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. I find looking up the most recent episode is the best way to do it. Let's do a Crossing the Line podcast. Kids Next Door.
Well, I hope your phone's muted so we don't like double down on podcasts within podcasts.
Oh, we will.
Alright. Stop it.
I need to watch it.
You don't need the audio, trust me.
Okay.
Today on Crossing the Line cast, we're replaying one of our old episodes. Dude, that should be
With reduced quality.
Cut this out. We should totally do that as an April Fool's. That'd be great.
Our commentary episode, like Mario Logan,
Yeah.
where we react over our own podcast, so you
Yes.
can't hear it.
Yes.
God, I hate that he does that.
Fucking.
Yeah, you keep watching that. Me and Steven will have banter.
We'll sit in front of a green screen like they do, and half of them always wear a green shirt, so they always disappear.
Idiots.
So they changed to blue screen because that works better.
Little does Logan know that Tito only wears blue shirts for his Sonic channel.
My boy Tito.
I told Tito we'd use a blue screen today, so he wore his favorite blue shirt. Thanks, Tito.
Today I wanted to get rid of Tito.
Today I realize my Bowser Jr. videos aren't doing so good, so instead I'm voicing Jet the Hawk, and we're making Jet the Hawk videos on Tito Totter. I shit you not, that's what he's doing.
I know.
Christ.
Hey guys, it's your boy Logan back here on Chili's vlog channel saying, I'm getting rid of Tito. Every time I try to get lucky with his sister, he comes in and stares and smiles, and I can't get it up.
He says, what are you doing, guys?
He goes, oh, he makes a sex joke, and then I have to call him on it as I usually do. That's your sister, and he goes, alright.
I'm trying my best to get my nut, and Tito comes in and makes a sex joke at his sister, and I have no choice but to get up, pull out, go and slap him a couple special fives around. Because that's what bros do.
I ask him what he's doing, and he tells me, so I have to give him a high five, and then Chili gets uncomfortable, and I say, Chili, it's what bros do. Give us a second. And I make Chili leave for a minute, and she comes back. I tell her to leave again. Gonna like her.
She leaves with her vag drooling with ecstasy.
Their recent fucking vlog is revolting. They went to a friggin' concert, and a McDonald's employee kicked them out when they wanted free water. Here's what happened. They didn't bring a vehicle to this fucking concert, okay? So they walked to this McDonald's, and because it's so late, their drive-thru is open 24/7, but the building isn't. So they walk to the drive-thru and demand drinks, free drinks,
Oh, no.
free water.
I can tell what you're drawing now. I don't like this.
The pieces came together.
It took me a sec to realize, don't worry, it's a
Steven
building
screamed
joke.
when he figured it out.
I don't like that I can tell, honestly, that you can draw a good enough caricature of this man that I can tell.
It's true.
I like banged that out as quick as I could too.
Oh my god.
This is good. Check out last week's episode for a cold open drawing of a horrible man.
It's the sunken eyes that really do it.
Yeah.
His tired eyes.
Thought you were drawing the darkness from Michelle Rose at first, but then... Oh, dude.
Someone's got to do the mukbangs. It's a tired living.
When's Richie gonna do mukbangs?
Oh god, don't give him the idea. He's already done the drive-thru nonsense.
He's already done the Let's Cook, now for the food reviews. Now that he knows he can't cook, just like Joey.
It's easier just to go to KFC.
He's gonna make his wife come with him on the mukbangs and harass him off camera.
He's gonna make Jax come with him, but she's not allowed to talk.
He's gonna squeeze Jax's boobs really tightly in a mukbang.
Mukbang. I don't eat anything. I just squeeze Jax's boobs.
I just bang.
He's gonna put... He's gonna make...
Mukbang.
Richie just uploads porn to his channel.
Ew!
I don't like this. You drew his poorly fitted collar like he always has.
I like that fucking gray scale.
The gray makes it so much better. Oh. Seriously, check out last week's intro.
Did you crack your phone already?
Yeah, I was trying to help a kid chase a balloon on 4th of July, and he knocked it out of my hands, and I was like, thanks, but...
Oh, man.
It's fine. I don't know if... I doubt the screen replacement will cost more than the phone, and the phone was only like 100-ish, so it's probably not too much, but...
Yeah, I'm sure.
Righteous.
Fucking... Just grody Christian quality porn uploaded by our child.
He stops the video halfway through so he can make a joke with the camera and then keeps going. He's like, wait a second, I have a joke to make. This will be funny.
He stops the video halfway through to catch his breath. And he's
to sit down and drink a soda on the edge of the bed.
Sitting there with his legs splayed out like, hold on.
Richie, I was almost there. Hold on, give me a minute, damn it! They fucking do it while they're in line at the drive-thru, so people are honking at them, and fucking Rich's...
He's trying to make Jax squeeze in between himself and the steering wheel.
Jax is hanging out the window.
We need a new podcast to talk about other YouTube channels.
That is true. That's been like the past
that.
3
Totally,
open.
Please. I want that.
All we do is
I don't want to edit 2 podcasts, Steven.
Fucking all do it.
Okay.
Nigga, all do it.
Anyway.
Speaking of ends, anyway.
It's the scary day. Eli, look out behind you. Friday the 13th cartridge is coming to life.
Whoa, it looks really cool in neon, actually. It's LJN, so I don't trust it. Scariest thing about Friday the 13th, the game, is that it's made by LJN.
It's true, the last thing on our shelf right now is that game for some reason.
That game makes me mad, not because of its difficulty, but because it's a game that could be good, but like they just do things just wrong enough that you like it, but at the same time you want to like it, I mean.
I've put a lot of manpower into that game, and it feels like you're so close to like getting to something new, but then the same things happen. You lose like the best camper and all the other ones suck and you just want to give up.
It's a game you need save states for. Like, I shit you not. I want to beat that game like with an emulator, just to be able to say I did, and then people fucking get on my case about using an emulator.
Okay.
So you'd be surprised how many Friday the 13th like crossovers there are, let alone like their own stories, but
yeah, man.
People, I guess, really want to kill their favorite cartoon critters.
Yeah. There were there's a lot of the classics, you know, you got your Narutos, your Total Drama Islands, it's a real, when you have a couple of those like that, you know it's a solid.
TDR I totally get though, that's set up perfectly for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's true, yeah.
I just thought of Jason Voorhees fighting Naruto and cutting his Rasengan in half with his stupid machete.
He just stumbles onto the scene and just knocks him over and slashes him.
He like slices his ball of like energy in air and it just like shoots out and like pushes trees over from either side of him.
He just clunkily stumbles over to Naruto and bangs him over the head and kills him instantly.
He just punches him really hard in the head.
No!
He punches
That's how
him
these
right.
fights go.
He grabs him by the collar and he like turns his headband inside out and punches it so the metal piece just hurts his brain a lot.
Oh my god. I was about to bring up this one scene, but I'm pretty sure it's actually from a Halloween movie. But regardless, whichever villain it is, there's this like mentally challenged guy who works at a restaurant. He's like messing around, taking out the trash, pretending to do kung fu, and then he sees like Jason or whoever trying to attack the store, so he tries to do kung fu. Jason grabs his hand and breaks his arm just by twisting it. And I ain't talking like he I'm talking the bone pops out and shit. I'm imagining him do that to fucking Naruto.
He does his own Rasengan.
god.
He looks at Naruto for a second, and then he puts his hand in the air, and then does his own Rasengan, throws it at Naruto, and kills him.
Spins his machete in his hand so fast it makes a
He
Rasengan.
double Rasengans him.
Sorry to get off topic, but you remember when, like, there was just some guy, like, robbing a restaurant and Jiraiya just, like, palmed a Rasengan and let it flew at him and, like, destroyed that man's body?
That was like the
Christ.
intro to that arc of training him, right?
Mhm. It's just so funny how he can just, like, pop, like, he just moves it, but Naruto never does that. He always, like, grips him so he can be, like, his best buddy Sasuke.
Naruto needs 2 hands to do it, so he makes a clone to do it for him.
Naruto's weak.
There you go.
Even when he becomes like a sage, he uses somebody to do it for him.
Christ.
It's dumb.
Anyway. It's
Alright.
spooky.
Spooky.
Okay.
Alright, so how are we going to determine who goes first?
I will.
I'll flip this here coaster, and if it lands right side up, you gotta... Yeah, you're reading first. Otherwise, we cancel the podcast. Alright.
I will.
Yeah. And my axe. My ass.
Here's some good comments from this story before we get started.
Oh boy.
This is cute. Please update. I want to.
Yeah, right.
I want to see them meet and how Jason will be. Can't wait for more love.
The plight of all foolish enough to enjoy a fan fiction.
That's a very interesting combo.
Yeah.
I liked it. Just wished it was longer. Oh, I wish too. I haven't even read it yet, but I wish to. No, I don't want to leave a comment.
Leave a
Okay,
comment.
here we go.
Ask for them to update.
No.
You know that always works.
No. All right, let me catch my breath for a second. You still got Denny's water in that pop?
No, I dumped
Can
it
we?
out.
Can you discuss that for 1 second?
Okay.
Okay, real quick sidebar.
Alright guys, so I have this 100-ounce Polar Pop. If you guys go to 7-Eleven, you know they're giant big gulps. It's
Circle
essentially-
K. But-
Yeah,
oh,
well, I mean, if you've been to 7-Eleven, you've seen one of these, but the Polar Pop is Circle K's version of it.
Oh.
Nonetheless, I had it empty, and we usually go out to Denny's every Tuesday at midnight. So on this,
Begrudgingly.
We
Yeah.
get terrible service and complain.
And get sick.
yeah, it's a good time. But nonetheless, I brought mine with me empty with plans to make Eli stop by Circle K on the way home. Whether or not I would have fulfilled that was a mystery at this point. But nonetheless, while we were at Denny's, I was thirsty and I had a big thirst and I didn't have my water yet. So when the waitress came to take our orders, I gave it to her and I said, "Can you give me some water, please?" And she actually fucking snatched the thing. And when she brought waters for everyone left at the table, she brought me my 100 ounces of fucking Denny's sink water.
Oh my god, I hate Denny's tap water. She also didn't bring tap water for anybody else at our table. She's like, okay, if you're getting 100 ounces, the other guys don't get water.
It's mine. I offered you guys a sip, so you wanted to buy it.
Any excuse to not drink Denny's tap water is fine.
You're
I don't
right,
care.
you're right. It's okay, it's all... I went to Circle K, I forgot to dump it out before I went to fill it with actual soda today. And I ended up I forgot how much was still left in it, so I opened it up and I dunked it out into their very shallow liquid tray for the machine, and it was so close to overflowing. Dude, you know how there's a grate on top of those things?
Yeah.
It was level with the water.
That's a wide grate.
That's a white-ass grate, yeah.
Oh my god.
But
There's like a really nice Circle K a half a mile away from our house, so we usually go to that one even though it's out of the way from town.
I agree.
Soon there will be a bagel shop next door and I will go the distance.
And a Publix.
Yo.
Oh, that'd be good. The frickin' Winn-Dixie bar house is organized like a madman. It's like the baking section is part of the soup and dish soap section. It's like, who did this?
What?
Yeah, it's also overpriced. I don't know who organizes that place, but it's crazy.
Ugh. Roadie.
Continue.
Okay, I think we're done with the sequiturs. So now I can begin this begrudging tale of horror and mystery and I don't like that line. Anyway.
Oh, I thought you read something and you were like, oh.
Oh, I
no.
did.
Oh, good.
You can always skip the first sentence or two if you need to avoid the spoilers for which
I know
character.
it's not that, but I just read a word out of line and I don't like how this is looking.
I'm ready.
Okay. It was a long time ago. She was only a woman, yearning to be a mother. Her infertile husband left her high and dry when he learned of the artificial insemination process she did behind his back.
Oh no.
And with that, he left her. Married a woman 15 years younger in both lust and retaliation. She was alone in this. Alone raising a beautiful baby boy. He looked so much like his mother. From his bright hazel green eyes to his soft chocolate hair. He grew up to be like her too. Kind and loving, yet full of many insecurities. And for the first 14 years of his life, he accepted his mother's lies of she being alone, and that there was no man to call daddy in his life. In a way, she wasn't lying. She had no idea who helped her conceive her beautiful son. All was done behind the curtain, all legal, but all in secret. And he accepted it for the first 14 years of his life. But when he turned 16, that was when strange things started to happen. It was a long time ago, but in the end, he couldn't be hidden from his past forever. And there's a cross section indicating it is a different part of the story.
Time passage or something, yeah.
Like a scene transition.
Yeah.
James slumped to the floor of his and Kendall's cabin, shivering as he stared down at the bloody pair of scissors. Oh.
Wait, what?
Oh no.
He didn't remember packing a pair of scissors. In fact, all he packed for Camp Crystal Lake were clothes, toiletries, etc. He didn't pack a pair of scissors. So why? Why was this happening to him? It all started when he turned 16 2 months ago. Strange things started happening, like nightmares, and he was hearing voices calling him. These voices were telling him something about killing, while the nightmares always had two things, a bloody machete and a hockey mask.
Oh no.
Why was he dreaming about a bloody machete and hockey mask? Why was he hearing these voices, these broken and disoriented voices, telling him about a killing? Why was this happening? And why does it not scare him? Why did he not feel fear from the nightmares and the voices? Pamela, that name, felt so familiar, even though he's never met someone with that name before in his life. It was a name the voices always said. Pamela. Pamela, Pamela, Pamela. Grandma. Grandma Pamela? James was shocked at that. He didn't have a grandma.
No way, not James.
James would never have a grandma. He didn't have one from his mom's side since she passed away months before he was born, and from his dad's side, he had no clue. He grew up without a father. He had no idea who his father was, or what he looked like, or if he could find him. Everything about him was so... Everything about him was so dark with secrets. Everything confusing. Scene transition / James! The pretty boy jumped and kicked the scissors farther under his bed. He's standing up to see his blonde best friend
Kick
and
scissors.
crush of forever, Kendall Knight.
Oh no.
No!
Why did this have to happen?
Kendall, what's wrong? James whispered, noticing the terrified look in the other's eyes. Kendall swallowed hard, tears close to pouring down his pale, thin cheeks. James! Kelly! Someone killed her last night! They stabbed her! They stabbed her until she was choking on her own blood! Kendall choked out, hugging himself tightly as if he was about to fall apart. James made a move to hug him, to comfort
Yeah.
to comfort him, but once he heard the other's words and let them process clearly in his head, he stopped. Stabbed to death? She was stabbed to death? James looked down toward his bed, where the bloody pair of scissors were hiding under, mocking him. The scissors, the murder weapon. They were used to kill Kelly. James, are you okay? A blank look overtook the pretty boy's face, which greatly alarmed the blonde. He knew how close James and Kelly were, almost like a big sister-little brother relationship. To hear her dead was terrible, but the look he had on, the look was so deprived of emotion, as if he was a mile away. James? Jamie? My sweet little grandson. And that's in bold font, so we don't know who that is. And then there's scene transition / the voices. Only one this time. It was of a woman's. My sweet little boy, you're just like Jason. My little Jason. My little James. My special, special little boy.
Don't make his grandma...
No! Don't say it! I know what you're gonna say.
You
can't just make it like
Hey!
that and then get mad at us for criticizing you!
I am exerting my artistic liberties. Sip your polar pop. Before I was rudely interrupted. Who are you? James found himself asking in his head. He flinched. You'll find out soon, sweetie. Right now, don't cry. Daddy is coming. He's coming for you. Cry? James didn't realize he was crying until he felt lightly, though, Kendall wiping his tears away. James, it's okay. It's okay. She's in a better place now. There wasn't a scene transition for that one, weirdly. But there were all the other places. He could hear the blonde speak, but couldn't respond. It was like his mouth was glued shut. He couldn't talk, even when he screamed inside to Kendall to help him because something was wrong. Something was happening to him. It's Grandma, looking out for you until Daddy comes to get you. I know how much you wanted to meet him. Don't know who he is, Jamie. And he's coming. Just wait for him. And don't go having more fun without him, okay, dearie? You two need to bond, my sweet little boys. Daddy? James whispered, eyes wide. What, James? What did you say? Kendall heard him, of course, but what he said confused him. Why was James talking about his estranged father?
As if he knows that. I know his father's estranged, and I wouldn't let him forget it.
They're close.
You're right.
James ignored the shorter, younger boy as he pushed his hands away from his face and walked to the window, gazing out to the lake. Past the trees, over the lake, he felt something watching him. Daddy? Kendall tried to understand his friend, but couldn't. Maybe James was going through a silent mental breakdown. Was he feeling the grief over Kelly, but also remembering the grief he's carried over the years of never having a father? Was this causing him to relapse to the depression he's been stuck in for weeks now? James, what is... He's coming. My daddy is... He's coming home, James said before he suddenly collapsed, eyes wide and a twitch taking over as if he was having a seizure.
Oh no!
James! He couldn't call back to Kendall, nor feel anything. It was like his body went numb. He couldn't feel his fingers grasping the bloody scissors. He couldn't hear Kendall's shocked yell as the brunette held the scissors to his throat. He couldn't see the tears pouring in from the other's eyes. All he could feel, at least in his head, was eyes. Eyes watching him, silently, with an intensity he could not explain. Daddy. Daddy's coming, sweetie. And that's it.
No! Why do they always do this?
Why did someone say that's cute?
What was that
That's cute.
exactly?
That was Big Time Rush.
Okay, I had a feeling,
Yeah.
but like
James with his estranged father, Jason Voorhees.
Kendall was the only name I recognized.
I hate
in
getting
that.
invested in stories and they never do, like, they just build up the story and they never actually do anything with it.
Right, they don't like outline it first, so they just end up dropping it.
It clearly states there's Kames and Kargan pairings in the description.
There was. It was alluded to.
Yeah, true.
Carlos and Logan didn't show up.
It was alluded they were gay and horny, and their friends are James and Carlos.
Wait, this says this is part 1 of a trilogy.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Uh,
I think. I saw a couple.
Hold on. Come on, where's... How do I see the author? God dang it. I forget how to do that. Oh, wait, is that it? There we go. Let me see. So, while I... So while... Sorry, I saw a picture.
it was.
While I look for this, why don't you guys give me a rating system?
Let's see here. I give that about 2 out of 4, 5. I don't. It was all build up, but no real payoff.
I give that one pair of bloody scissors kicked under James's bed barefoot. It's a dangerous game, but someone's got to do it. Gotta hide the evidence.
You're not wrong.
Yep.
A story that had to be told, had to be hidden.
No, that's the only Big Time Rush Friday the 13th crossover.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
I saw a different one with a different series I'm thinking of then, I guess.
Yeah, there's only one Big Time Rush, unfortunately. So we'll never get the Kargan we crave.
It's alluded
We
to.
barely got the Kames.
That's true.
That's Kendall and James.
I know.
Kames.
I know.
I'm gonna give that a funny grandma out of 10.
What's funny about the grandma?
She talks funny.
Yeah, she sure does.
Yeah.
What's not to laugh about?
Oh no, everything's good. All is well.
Nothing.
Well, I feel a little cheated on the story, but I've enjoyed what they were giving me so far.
Yeah.
Who would
Me
like to
too.
present their piece to the class next?
I can go.
Ooh,
Alright.
Stephen Chuan.
I really do not like the author's name.
Yeah.
That's a bad name.
It's stupid. Alright.
Don't bully this person based on their name.
Their name is... yeah. Alright.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't look up that.
No. Alright. So this is one of the stories that's formatted in such a way that it says the name and then what they're doing and then an action.
If you can give us character voices, that'll make it so much more convenient.
Alright. Steven, eating cookie cats. Amethyst is watching TV and The Amazing World of Gumball is on. Greg walks in.
That's not canon.
Guys, you're not gonna believe this! Beach City Walk Fries is closed!
That's pretty good.
Steven spits out a cookie cat in surprise. What? Amethyst, how did that happen?
How did that happen?
Oh,
Steve.
that's season 1.
Amethyst has a very specific voice. It's difficult to do. Amethyst. Steven. They can't do that! Their fries are good! Greg. I was surprised too! But they had a sign in the window that said, closed forever!
What kind of plot?
Forever?
Why would they put a sign on there?
I broke their window and now they say they're closed.
Now they say now they say they're closed to me forever.
Me specifically.
I burned it
Steven,
down.
go get me fries!
Steven, what? That's it. I'm going to talk to the boss. Goes off to find the boss.
He's gonna kick Ronaldo in the nuts.
Greg, he wasn't there when I walked up. Steven, where could he be then? Meanwhile, at Fish Stew Pizza, Jenny is sleeping after watching videos of male strippers when a man in an attire similar to Jason Voorhees walks in and impales Jenny's face with a machete.
Jeez.
Jenny, my face! Dies from brain damage suddenly and passes out!
There's no sport.
Passes, period.
Dies from
brain damage suddenly, then passes out.
He would never do that. There's no sport in just walking up on a sleeping person
Got her.
using his friend's sword.
And then,
Oh my
then
God.
taking a marker and writing "closed forever" and putting it in the window.
He's closing down Beach City. It's Mayor Dewey.
Mayor Dewey's cutting the fat.
In another room, Kofi is impatiently waiting for Jenny. That's it, young lady, is suddenly impaled with a spear by the same person that killed Jenny.
Jeez.
In the line directly under it, in quotes, he dies. Meanwhile, Steven sees the news of murdered people. Guys, are you seeing this? Amethyst watches with the other gems. Whoa, someone's been murdered. Pearl, what? After that place closed down forever?
Pearl's gonna miss her
First
fries.
this, now that.
After
Pearl loved fries.
After I threw a spear at that one girl.
I canonically love fries.
I can't get enough.
Less food, that's a good thing, Steven. Got
That's not written in the lecture.
Garnet. Perhaps that could be the cause of its forever closing. Steven, who's doing this?
Who
That-
killed Ronaldo off camera?
Back at Fish Stew Pizza, Kiki is looking for something. Hey Jenny, have you seen the fire iron? The man impales Kiki with the still burning fire iron.
Pails are with
I like
it?
that.
Yeah.
I like the setup for that joke kill.
Have you seen the fire iron?
This is how a murder would really be written in a comedy version of the show. Kiki dies from her injuries.
More specific.
Oh no.
Destroying the fast food industry.
What?
The fry. He went from the fry shop directly to the pizza shop.
He's just walking down the strip killing everybody.
He fucking game teleported right to the restaurant.
They're like
Teleports
next
in, looks
door to
around.
each other.
Oh, you're right.
Come on, Steven.
Yeah. Sadie. Hey, Connie, have you heard there's been murders? Connie. Yeah.
Sadie and Connie would never talk to each other. They have nothing in common.
You're right. Sadie, I wonder who's the murderer in Mayor Dewey's office. Mayor Dewey, I don't care if they have to put my wife behind bars. Get me the damn psycho who's responsible for this mess.
Is he implying it's his wife?
That was my question reading that.
I think it's like, I don't care if it's my wife. Find this, like
Okay.
worst case scenario. I don't care. Stop this man.
Oh my god, that's how I read it.
No, he thinks it's his wife. He just won't outright say it.
No, the police over the phone said it's his wife. He says, I don't care if my wife goes to jail, just get me the killer.
It's your wife in a bad Halloween costume, Mayor
She's
Dewey.
completely innocent, but he wants her to go to jail anyway.
It's my wife. Take her to jail. I admit, for her.
That's my plan. Get her in jail.
Teach her a lesson. They teach you how to not burn a steak in jail, right?
Oh no. Get me the damn psycho who's responsible for this
You
mess.
got it.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here? I mean, this is a small town, man, and small towns are supposed to be safe. Buck Dewey, I know who it is. Mayor Dewey, what? Buck Dewey, I said I know who it is. Mayor Dewey, who? Buck Dewey, it's Jason Voorhees. 10-second pause. Mayor Dewey, Jason Voorhees, you're out of your mind. You've been in the sun too long. Jason Voorhees is in cryonic stasis. He's trapped under ice. Is
Somebody
So
watched
he is
Jason X
canon?
is this the Jason X canon where they fucking froze him?
in space.
God.
No, I personally went to space and stopped him.
Mayor Dewey used all the taxpayers' budget to check on Jason Voorhees in space.
Send the crystal gems into space to check up on him.
Oh,
That
no.
boy's been out in the sun without his hat on for too long.
Buck Dewey stands up firmly. You know that for sure, Mayor. Were you there? Did you see him frozen?
Why, yes, I used the taxpayers' dollars to get up there.
To
It
climb
was a
up
very
there
nice trip overall.
on my big ladder.
Mayor
I'm
Dewey.
doing it to protect you,
I saw the
which
vote.
means I can do it.
I left the ladder up there, so he climbed down, I guess.
The
Wow.
ladder.
Ladder to space. Mayor Dewey's space ladder.
He's like pulls it out, like balancing it on the moon.
Tap, tap.
There we go. Hold this so it doesn't fall down.
Step down.
It might move a little. It's really high up there.
Hold this so I don't fall off. He spends half a day climbing.
Help me. The atmospheric pressure is a little much on this.
Oh no, Jason's climbing down. He slapped the side ladder. Get
shit.
off there. Get off there. It's my
shit.
ladder.
Oh, shit. Tip it over.
Tip it over. Throw the ladder up there.
Give me another ladder to get me down.
Oh, shit. He's getting close. Slam it against the moon. Knock him off.
Put up a second ladder so I can get off, and then we'll push this ladder over.
Give me a second left so I can climb up and fist fight him. See here. Jason Voorhees, Buck nods. I can't believe this. Look, pulls out an ice cube. This is your Jason Voorhees here. Grips the ice cube tightly. This plants the ice cube in Buck's hand. You're on the line here, Buck. Are you getting that? Mayor
Why
Dewey.
is he on the line?
Why is he threatening his son with
And his
ice?
family in general. I'm just like,
I told you it was him.
this is on your ass, Buck. And my wife.
Oh my god.
Keep an eye on her.
If you see her.
Mayor Dewey exits. Buck, enraged, breaks the ice cube by throwing it against a wall. I'm telling you, he did this!
Wait, come back! Give her this book. It's full of steak recipes and how not to burn them.
I hate my wife. And you.
To a lesser extent.
At the Big Donut, Lars is listening to heavy metal when the
Uh-oh.
killer comes up from behind him and slits his throat.
He would make that noise.
Jason.
He should have, put a pool stick through his stupid ears and held him against the wall.
Jason stabs him a few times in the heart and he dies.
A few times?
Yeah.
That boy's chest is like an inch
3
broad.
inches wide. Yeah.
Entire knife
Good
through.
aim.
He just cut him in half.
Just fucking sharpening that blade on his rib cage.
You take one of those knife sharpeners from TV and sharpen the side of his hand and use that to cut Lars in half.
He watched the Andy Sullivan Blade of Glory review.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Steven finds out Lars got killed. Oh, cool, Lars died. Ha ha, the jerk's dead.
Steven would never say that!
He was freaking out about the fry shack in the last part.
He said they're closed! Hey, Lars is dead, that's pretty cool.
Ha ha, the jerk's dead and there's a cat face emoji.
What?
Cat face emoji.
Steven makes a cat face emoji.
Ha ha, the jerk's dead. :3. Oh my god.
He wanted Sadie all along.
I don't blame him. Pearl. Steven, how can you say such a thing? Steven. Well, he's always mean and stuff, picking on me, everyone else. Case closed, folds arm.
He doesn't pick on anybody.
Closed.
Right.
He doesn't pick on anybody, he's just angsty.
Yeah, he's just a teen.
He's just sad
Fuck.
and angsty.
Right.
Case closed.
Pearl slaps Steven upside the head.
Steven, you dumbass.
You cunt.
Pearl breaks her non-swear vow.
Pearl swears on TV.
Ow! Hey! Amethyst. Anyways, less talking mean stuff, more finding out who the killer is. I didn't want to say this, but it could be Steven. Her and her fucking future vision sees this as an opportunity.
No, Steven's not tall enough to stab people through the head or
He's
heart.
not tall enough to stab Lars.
He gets shorter every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god. What? I didn't do it, even though I always feel like taking it out on the jerk, but I would never. Otherwise, I'd be sent to jail. Meanwhile, Sadie is eating
Steven doesn't do jail!
Steven's got a good morality system. He's like, yeah, I do it, but I go to jail again. That suck.
I'm not about that life now. Where's...
Steven can't last in jail. Steven's a bottom.
Connie Burson. No
Connie
way.
burps in.
No
Connie
way.
burps.
Oh, I skipped a second. Meanwhile, Sadie is eating a banana when Jason buries an axe in her head. She falls to the
Okay.
floor dead. He leaves and then Connie finds her dead. Ah, Connie DX, what happened? Cries.
DX.
Capital DX, I guess that's her emoji. Runs to find the crystal gems. Meanwhile, the gems are arguing. Alright, that's enough! The more time we spend blaming each other, the less time we have finding the real killer.
None of you left.
They just sat on the couch and complained and then got quiet for a few minutes till the next murder happened and they just knew it happened.
And Steven,
Future vision.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Connie bursts in. Guys, someone killed Sadie! DX panicked. Steven, who did it? I have no idea. Probably whoever's been committing the other killings. Let's go find the killer! Steven goes with Connie and the yellow gems to look for Jason. At Funland Arcade, the gems, Steven and Connie find the bodies of Jason's victims as Jason walks in and chases...
Piling them up in the arcade.
Mr. Smiley just has his perpetual smile as
Just
he's
behind the
dead.
counter watching this man in a hockey mask come in with a couple new bodies and make
He's
a
like,
pile.
I don't know what's going on, but he's paying admission for all of them.
Jason's victims as Jason walks in and chases the gems, Steven and Connie out. Ah, run! Down, 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 down. The gems, Steven and Connie run toward the barn with Jason in hot pursuit. They run and close the door before Jason could get to them. Garnet, just in case we don't make it through this, I just want to say I'm sorry for accusing you of being the killer, Steven. It's okay, Garnet. Anyways, we're safe now. Jason breaks down the door and chases the group upstairs. Ah! They run upstairs. You can't catch us! Oh, and by the way, thanks for killing Lars if you got him. Burl.
Feeling the author doesn't like Lars.
Yeah. This is probably back before his redemption arc. Burl. Steven! Jason knocks Garnet aside and nearly
Slaps her off scene.
Oh my god. I love that song.
Keep reading.
Anyway. Oh my god. Steven! Jason knocks Garnet aside and nearly strikes Connie with his machete when Steven gets in the way and summons his shield, knocking Jason out the window, and coincidentally knocking off his mask as he falls onto a bed of spikes.
Oh no.
The gems, Steven and Connie look down and find the killer wasn't Jason Voorhees after all, but Mr. Fryman.
No!
He killed his family?
No, he had to close the shop so he could go out and make killings.
Mr.
I
Fryman.
like how he calmly
Why
put a
couldn't
closed forever sign up first.
Why couldn't it have been Ronaldo?
That's what I was thinking. He's prime.
He would shoot up a school.
He would. He'd make a fucking conspiracy about it.
Conspiracy about who killed everyone. It's like, it was your dad, Ronaldo. We know who did it.
Garnet, I just went online to Ronaldo's blog. It's no longer called Keep Beach City Weird. It's now Keep Beach City Dead.
Oh!
Oh my god. The gems, Steve and Connie look down. Oh no. Steven, Mr. Fryman, but why? Connie, why did you do all this, Mr. Fryman? He did have the means, and he has a motive. A motive? What is it? Greg, a few days ago, Petey and Ronaldo committed suicide! Oh my god!
Why?
How is that a motive?
How is that a motive? All these people bully Ronaldo?
I swear, if there's not a second chapter, explain to me why Ronaldo and Petey committed suicide. Oh,
Petey said his blog sucked.
Ronaldo killed Petey.
And himself.
Yeah.
oh no. It's all a part of the bigger picture, Petey. There is no afterlife, and we're gonna prove them all wrong. And he has a fucking steak in his hand.
Oh, I thought you meant like a slab of meat. He's gonna eat himself to death.
Makes sense to me. Petey would go out fast. He has the body weight of a fucking pillow. Oh god. It's possible that this is what drove him over the edge. Oh, I see. At least Connie's alive. Yeah, want to go hang at my house? Sure. They leave at sunset. Meanwhile, at Connie's house, Connie's mom arrives home and shivers. Honey, did you leave the AC on? Just then, the real Jason Voorhees shuts the door behind her and prepares to strike her with a Bowie knife.
Oh my god.
Epilogue. You're with your baby and you're parked alone on a summer night. You're deep in love, but you're deeper in the woods. You think you're doing alright. Did you hear that voice? Did you hear that face? Or was it just a dream? This can't be real. That only happens, babe, on the movie screen. Oh, but he's back. He's the man behind the mask, and he's out of control. He's back. The man behind the mask, and he crawled out of his hole. You're swimming with your girl. Out on Lover's Lake, and the wind blows cold. It chills your bones, but you're still on the make. That's a bad mistake. But the moon was full, and you had a chance to be all alone. But you're not alone. This is your last dance and your last romance. Yeah, 'cause he's back. He's the man behind the mask, and he's out of control. He's back. The man behind the mask, and he crawled out of his hole. Shh, 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 shh. Oh, if you see him coming, get away if you can. Just keep on running. Run as fast as you can. He's a dangerous, dangerous man, and he's out tonight, and he's watching you, and he knows your house. Shh, 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 shh. No, don't turn out the lights. Yeah, 'cause he's back. He's the man behind the mask, and he's out of control. He's back. The man behind the mask, and he's after your soul. He's back. He's the man behind the mask, and he's out of control. He's back. The man behind the mask, and he's after your soul. He's back. The man behind the mask, and he's out of control. He's back. He's the man behind the whatever. There's a icon.
It's a song.
Yeah, there's a song. I'm glad this was 1,000 words and 430 of them were a fucking song. I want to see comments if there are any. No.
I think Steven and Connie canoodled at the end there.
Probably. That seems like a Friday the 13th.
That's what
thing to
summoned
do.
Jason.
That's true. He hates kids having sex.
That's what summoned Mr. Fryman and Trey Women saying.
Underage sex is Jason's biggest fear.
But he's so, and she's so. And he does a fucking hand sign with his hand over his face.
Jason does the "You Can't See Me" John Cena.
I'm gonna rate that story at Mayor Dewey halfway up a ladder to the moon because it started to build up, but then the ending was very lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna rate it 7 out of 10 fries in a basket of 11 fries because I thought it was better than average. I liked all the immediate kills and the dumb setups for joke kills and how Steven just was okay with things. He's a self-insert.
No, he was worried. He just didn't like Lars.
It was funny. It was good. I like the side story with Mary Dewey. That was a nice little side scene.
I'm giving that 3.5 slaps in the back of Steven's head as Pearl says fuck for the first time.
Fuck.
Pearl slapped all the skin off of Steven's head and he turned into Sans.
His jacket turns blue.
God.
He's like, don't worry guys, I'm just cold.
And don't worry guys, Matt Pat's on the list for our new YouTube cast.
Oh god. I wish Matt Pat was on the show. It'd be funny.
I wish Matt Pat was dead.
Not because he's on the show, but because he's on the show.
If anyone can get into contact with Matt Pat, we'd love to have him on.
Yeah.
I'll call him.
Oh, I'm gonna heckle his ass. He won't want to be on here.
It's true. You have 19,000 followers, Steven. You can do anything.
You're right. I'm gonna fucking
DM Matt Pat and blackmail him into coming on the show. Tell him you drew really realistic porn of him, and if he doesn't come on the show, you're gonna make a game theory about him.
So he drew better art of him as the Doki Doki character than his actual Doki Doki character.
Yeah.
which was drawn over like a fan character.
Right.
As you'll notice that the blazer is much better than the face he drew because he just drew over it.
Critical. Crossing the line cast.
He stole fan art.
I know, that's so dumb.
It's fine, he's famous.
Someone wrote legitimate criticisms of him, so he took a stream to try and right the wrong, but he just made himself look perverted and stupid.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Do you like when Matt Pat has the picture of his face and then he uses the warp tool on it?
We do need a
I
YouTuber
really don't.
podcast. It'd be too easy.
Yeah.
We've got like 6 people in the bag.
Well, before we go ahead and dish out all of our hot deals, why don't you read us a beloved story from beyond the grave?
Okay, well.
Steven, no!
Hey,
Pearl, you're
What story?
hitting my son!
Pearl, you're hitting my soft
That's
spot.
my job!
Watch this!
We're going.
Yeah, where was I going,
I thought we
Steven?
were going to Steven Juniverse Tooniverse.
And what happens in Steven Juniverse Tooniverse?
Greg goes, watch this, guys, and he sucks his own dick and everyone's eyes widen. Hey guys, check this out!
That joke's so much funnier in audio form.
Stupid.
They all say,
mosaic
stop
dick."
that. He says,
Standing in the middle of the street, and everyone's begging him to stop.
please, Greg, you don't have to do this.
They brought it back in a third Juniverse, and he's like, "You guys gotta look at this." And he
It's
does
true, and it
again.
goes on for very long.
That was the end of the video. That was the credits sequence.
Steven, you should animate that.
Yeah, it's Steven Juniverse animated.
I'm not making a non-mosaic version of that scene.
Why not? You made an OKKO one like
You make so much
That
money.
That would hurt the comedy. The mosaic really enhances that.
Make someone pay you to commission it.
How much money, Steven?
I'm holding this video gift ransom. I've created it, but to release it I have to be paid $100.
You have like a wanted poster, and it's like a man trying to erase the mosaic sensor.
I don't even fucking show him the gift to prove that I have it. I just GoFundMe someone out of $100.
But then you'd be honor bound,
You're right.
and you can't break your code.
There's a first time for everything.
Okay.
Thought that was the OWAs, and you just now found the story you wanted to read.
No, I'm gonna start with the comments.
Okay.
The comments are, first one, not scary. Second one, I like the
Yeah.
concept of the story, but you should probably pay more attention to the punctuation because it confuses the readers try to read.
Oh no.
Why are you still wearing shoes?
Hmm?
Ew.
They're
They're
sandals.
house
Oh.
shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 1,000 words. Friday the 13th, ... It was a cold
That's
and...
today!
Whoa!
I thought it was Thursday.
No.
Oh, it's not?
It was...
Is it? I thought... No, because yesterday was Wednesday, so today's Thursday.
You're ruining the mysticism of the release date.
Oh, fucking idiot. Okay. Yeah.
Just blur that.
It's Friday. Just replay. Okay, here.
It's Friday.
Everyone shush. Everyone shush. Friday. Just replace every time I say Thursday with that.
And when you said no, tomorrow was Friday.
Right.
No, yesterday was Friday.
I have the word Thursday in there. You can put...
Okay, it was an cold and dark night in the Christmas holiday. The SNS gang was going home from a party.
Christmas in July.
SNS stands for Sasuke and Naruto and Sakura, and they were best pals. Naruto was going to sleep over at Sasuke's house. Or sorry, let me reread that sentence because trust me, I should reread the sentence the way it was written.
Verbatim. Verbatim.
It's not much, but it's one crucial detail. No, you gotta listen to this.
Yep.
Naruto was going to sleep over at Sasuke's mansion.
You're right.
That's pretty good.
His mansion.
That's amazing.
I'll let you fill in the blanks on the problems with that one.
He's like Richie Rich.
Yeah, he is. Just like that. You remember what happened to Richie Rich's parents?
They got murdered.
Yeah. By the way, I'm Naruto, and this is my story of what happened 30 years ago.
Oh.
So Naruto is like 40 years old.
Wait, he's 40 years old heading over to a sleepover?
God.
No, it's what happened 30 years ago.
Oh. Okay. You really misdirected me on that one.
I read it for verbatim. Sasuke and I had walked for around 5 minutes after we said goodbye to Sakura when we could see the mansion his parents and the movies.
Why doesn't Sakura get Why does he have parents?
The punctuation throws me for a loop.
Oh, I love those ones.
I'm trying to read it verbatim, but it's so unpredictable word for word that it like...
Why doesn't Sakura get to go to the mansion?
Sasuke and I... Okay, well, they're going home from a party, but Naruto is going to sleep over at Sasuke's mansion.
Why doesn't Sakura have a mansion?
Maybe she does. Sasuke and I had walked around for 5 minutes after we said goodbye to Sakura when we could see the mansion his parents are movie stars, so they don't have problems with money. That's the answer to that.
Okay. His parents were killed by the industry.
Okay. We went up the driveway and Sasuke unlocked the door. His parents were in Hollywood recording a movie. His big brother was there too, so we didn't have to be quiet.
I don't like that his big brother's there.
No way.
Where is Rex?
what he
I
does?
asked.
I know what he does.
He puts on a stupid hockey mask and goes to town.
That's what happens in the
no.
show. Where's Rex? I asked. He is with Mom and Dad in Hollywood. Oh, too bad. I wanted to play with him.
Ah, yes. Sasuke's canon doggo.
Rex.
What is the point of all these people writing Naruto when they always take them out of what makes it
You
Naruto?
don't remember this from the Shippuden arc?
No!
Come on! It was in the middle of that ninja war thing.
Sasuke
that
gets
happened in the
adopted.
first anime.
They had a flashback where Naruto went to Sasuke's mansion.
I don't like how Naruto and Sasuke are both orphans, but it never is a problem in the show ever.
Right.
Because they're just in school. It's fine.
Naruto had his cool, penthouse.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
He drank the funny milk and go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that
can't
critical
do that.
arc. Too bad I wanted to play with him. Haha, maybe next week. I bet they are on the jet by then. Once inside, we ate supper. After the food break, we entered the video library to choose a movie or two. How about watch the movie Finding Nemo? Sasuke said and looked really silly. He knows I hate that movie. No, what do you think about watching Barbie instead? I replied, and we couldn't stop laughing. Barbie is Sasuke's big brother's favorite movie, and Sasuke had to watch it once when his big brother was babysitting
I
Sasuke.
get the feeling this guy really does. I don't think he knows what Naruto is. He's just getting a popular tag in.
No wonder Itachi killed all those people.
We choose Friday the 13th, part 1 and 2, then we went up to Sasuke's bedroom and started to watch the first part.
Ooh.
When we'd watched both movies, it was around 3 a.m. and I was a bit hungry, so we went to eat again.
Steven, you know this couch folds out into a bed, right?
I didn't know that.
Okay.
I didn't hear it the second time you told me. The
Just
other
checking.
day. I know.
Just making sure.
I know.
In case the opportunity arrives.
Yeah, man.
Oh boy, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Good boys go to sleep.
Ooh.
24-hour sleep cycle. If you awake, you a fake. It's bedtime.
When it's 3 a.m., Naruto's going downstairs. Once down, I thought I saw something outside the window, but I ignored it since I believed that it was my fantasy pulling a prank after the movies. But right after we finished eating, Sasuke saw the same thing, but we still didn't think it was real. When we saw it a third time, it really looked like it was someone staring through the window. It looked as Jason Voorhees from the
You
movies.
just glossed over seeing something 3 times.
All 3 times, it's like his hockey mask face pressed to the window, staring beady-eyed into the house.
Fogging up the glass.
Breathing really heavy. Writing Sasuke's name in the fogged up window. We ran away scared and hid in the safe room when Sasuke said, "Hey, it might be Dad. Maybe he came home early." Yeah, it might be Dad fogging up the window with his hockey mask
In the
again.
freaking safe room.
In the safe room, in the mansion. And then, but why the Jason costume, I asked.
It's funny.
My dad loves doing that. I sent a message and told them that you slept over and we watched Friday the 13th. He answered, "Let's spook him then," I said. Sasuke was about to answer when the phone called and he answered, "Hello? Hi, Sasuke's mom." Or, "Hi, Sasuke, it's Mom. Rex and I will be home in 2 days. Sorry if I woke you up at 3 a.m. But I won't be able to use the phone when we leave. I don't know why we aren't allowed to have electronic devices there, but I don't want troubles. But your dad will come home around 1 p.m. with your brother next week. Oh, and guess what? He found a new girl."
What?
I'm guessing it's referring to the brother, but it's worded like the dad.
Oh.
Yeah, I was really confused.
Really? He found another one, huh? Well, we'll see you then. Okay, good night. And then they disconnected. Who was it? It was Mom. I guess I should do voices because these are not like... But
Please.
I'll make
It
Sasuke the
was
moody
Mom.
one. It was Mom. She and Rex won't come home until tomorrow, but Dad will be there at 1 p.m. But if they're not outside... I don't know. What's Naruto's voice? Just like...
Believe it!
Yeah.
It's just very confident.
But if they're not outside...
Just
Who-
do your Bobby Hill.
But if they're not outside... But if they're not here... But if they're here...
Did that hit you like a dog whistle, Steven?
Yes! That made me throw my head back.
You can't see this obviously, but Steven like convulsed. His body like caved in on himself hearing that noise.
It's okay, Sasuke.
But if they're not here, who is outside?
I'm okay, Sasuke.
I don't know. It might be our imagination. You're right. Let's go to sleep. When we woke up? When we woke up at 12:45. Is that going to be, I guess, PM, like noon?
I hope
We
so.
rushed down and ate breakfast. We were going to spook Sasuke's father. He's still waiting outside with the fucking mask.
Well, that's a
You shouldn't have slept for 9 hours first, dude. Maybe you should have got on that.
Did they need to say eat breakfast when it's 12:45?
I guess.
Oh no.
The clock got 1 p.m., but no Dad. Suddenly the phone started, and Sasuke's dad said he went to a cousin that was sick and would be home at 8 p.m., so we waited for 8 more hours.
No.
They think this family just runs exactly on the clock. They're not going to be a second late.
No.
He's like, no, I will be home exactly at 8 p.m. If I am not, you call the cops.
At 1959, this is the cross between Bobby Hill and Naruto now. At 1959, we were ready for him. As if it's like military time now.
Yeah.
Then suddenly, Jason was back, but still we thought it was Sasuke's dad. They just drop, like, they just spoil the frickin' mysticism out of nowhere.
Like, dude, there's Jason again. Who has
Jason
ever seen Jason coming ever?
Right.
3 times, and then they take
Four
an
now.
8-hour nap, and then get up, and you're like, let's go scare him.
He went home.
He's probably still outside.
Took a nap and came back to check on the kids.
Jesus.
Jason jumped through the window and started to walk towards us with a machete in his hand. We played scared to trick him to our trap when we heard a key turning in the door and Sasuke's dad walked in behind him.
Oh my god!
Hey son, I'm home. Who's your friend?
Jesus Christ.
Dad, what are you doing there there, and if you're there, then who's that? Sasuke said and pointed at Jason. What the? Who are you? Bart's dad asked. I guess they just refer to Sasuke as Bart now. That's fine.
Oh, no.
Whatever.
Wait, what?
Bart!
B-A-R-T.
Hey, Sasuke, eat my shorts.
Why did they do that?
Eat my shorts, Sasuke.
Sasuke's animorphed and became yellow.
Hey, don't have a cow.
I don't like this next sentence. I just cracked my phone more. Jason didn't answer. He just killed Sasuke's dad.
Boys, I'm shook. I'm shook as shit. I don't know if I'm having a good time right now or not. I might be glycemic. This pushed me over the edge.
Dad! Bart shouted to his dad, who laid in two pieces on the floor.
calling him Bart?
Shouted to his dad, who laid in two pieces on the floor, his blood poured out. It was a clean cut.
Just like a true shinobi.
George, Bart had better be in our fucking thumbnail.
No.
Let's run! I screamed. And we ran up to the attic and hid for about 5 minutes. And we ran up to the attic and hid for about 5 minutes. During that time, I called the police. He learned how to do grammar after this, by the way. During that time, I called the police. This is the police, a man said.
Bart.
Please send an ambulance and a police unit. Someone killed my friend's dad, and he's too shocked to talk, and we are hiding in the attic. The killer is dressed as Jason from Friday the 13th. It is hard to miss. Sounds strange, but fine. Where are you? The policeman asked. At the Knight Mansion. It is Olaf Knight. Who is the dead man?
Olaf Knight!
Who's that?
That's the snowman from Frozen! I'm mad!
No, who's Olaf Knight?
It's...
He doesn't have a last
He
name.
doesn't have a name, I'm just mad.
I'm Googling Olaf Knight because I want to know if it's
Right.
the one from Series of Unfortunate Events or that one or...
Yeah.
Something tells me it's...
It's nothing. Why did Sasuke's dad get named Olaf Knight?
That's a pretty fucking outstanding misspelling.
It's
if it
nothing.
is.
Nothing's coming up.
Why
Right.
is Sasuke sometimes Bart?
We'll be there in 5 minutes. Hold out.
This story's
After
making me
5
mad.
minutes, we went down. It was silent in the mansion. Maybe he has left, Sasuke whispered. Suddenly we heard something. And Jason came out of the living room. Run! I screamed again. And off we went, with Jason behind us. Suddenly he threw his machete at Sasuke and drilled him into the wall I was in front of. I heard the scream and saw the body and the blood pouring out.
Did you say he threw it?
Yes. Suddenly he threw his machete at Sasuke and drilled him into the wall. He freaking spiraled it like a football.
He actually did the move from the fucking NES game where he throws his machete and it spirals.
Oh my god.
That's great.
Cool. I heard the scream and saw the body and the blood pouring out, but I didn't stop. I heard the sirens outside. It's doing Usopp's voice now. I've lost it.
I heard the scream and saw the body, but I didn't stop.
Oh, I got out my big
I heard the
wonder
sirens
nose.
outside and got happy. I turned around and dodged his hand just in time. And when I looked up, he was gone. The police didn't find any clues of where he went. Still today, I am afraid that the man with the blood-red eyes will come back, but who knows? He might never come. The end, or is it? And then a look asterisk. It says Sasuke's dad did not notice that the window crashed for some unknown reason.
Is that the end?
Yeah, that's the end.
I give that 3 shorts to be eaten by whoever pisses off Sasuke's
I like how
dad.
they just go back to calling him Sasuke and ignore the slip-ups.
The multiple slip-ups. How do you mess up Sasuke and Bart?
It's like, which one was he again?
I swear to God, I can't tell if they like ripped someone else's fan fiction with The Simpsons and like did a find and replace.
I wouldn't be
for the
surprised.
Oh my god.
I would not be surprised if the
Right.
dad is, like, the parents are home, but there's a mansion, which is weird.
Sasuke Knight.
I mean, it could have
Olaf
gone
Knight.
Mr. Burns. Olaf Knight.
What a good time this episode has been.
Wait, just a spooky minute. I have one more I found and I would like to share it with the class as it is very short-ish.
Okay.
I didn't rate the story though, hold on. I give that a Itachi liking Barbie. Because it's something that doesn't never happen and should never happen.
I like it. I'd surmise it with the comical scene where Jason bursts in after their 9-hour nap, and then the dad bursts in one frame behind him and says, "Hey kids, I'm home." He's like, "Who's your new friend?" Then he gets
God.
killed. I love how these are always like, Jason walks in and kills them.
I like how blatant the Steven Universe one.
There's another Steven Universe one I saw. I don't want to say it in case that's what he has coming.
George, I hear you breathing hard over there. What's the sitch?
Hope it's another Jar Jar Binks one.
It's not!
Tune in last week for the new Jar Jar Binks one.
I'm really not okay if it is. I don't like the
I
way
doubt
you're
it
fucking
is.
smiling at me.
It's not.
Okay.
I gave blood on October 31st, 2012, and because I was giving double red blood cells, it took quite a while. So I wrote this story on my leg while a pint of blood was taken away from my body, and I became... Oh, this is
That's
an author's note. I wrote this story on my leg while a pint of blood was taken away from my body, and I
What a
became
psychopath.
increasingly lightheaded.
Oh, this is gonna be good! Hell yeah!
I doubt they can write an entire story on their leg.
like I have like the thing in one arm and just like.
Doctor, do you mind if I write a story on my leg in pen?
Literally writing this while slipping into hypoglycemia.
God.
I gotta try that sometime.
I've given plasma before and it's no fun. If you're short on money and you're like, I could go give plasma, just ask to borrow like $30 from your friend. Don't go to the plasma clinic. It's sketchy and feels bad.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
You do have time to write an entire story on your leg though. It takes like an hour. I personally chose to watch the second half and then the first half of a 240p rendition of Nightmare Before Christmas while doing mine. Not of my own will, mind you. That was what was given to me. The end of the last recording on the VHS and then the beginning of the next one.
No!
Not a good time.
A VHS!
On like a really yellowed old VC TV.
Fucking CDR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Jason's chainsaw entered Frank, killing him instantly. But what about the blood itself? The body? What were the reactions within Frank himself? Osmosis Jones was having a nice day. He was about to go to the liver and celebrate Frank's birthday with the FPD, but he stopped over by his apartment to go grab some enzymes. A few chemical reactions couldn't hurt anything, he thought.
Why?
Then he saw Drix's photo. "Oh, Drix!" he cried. Drix had been lost 3 years ago during a battle with the ferocious meningitis. He sacrificed himself to destroy the very last virus and end the scourge in the city of Frank forever.
What a good guy.
Ozzy just wished he was the one. Oh,
Poor
Drix. Oh, Drix.
If only it were me, Drix.
But he shouldn't have been thinking of such things. Tonight was a night for celebration, not mourning. He was sure that he was going to have a splendid time down in the liver. Or was he? This story makes me sick.
Filling you with real viruses.
At the party, Ozzy met quite a few of his old friends that he hadn't seen much of since he retired from the force last year. By the way, I need to set this up. It said in the description for this one that this takes place after the show Ozzy and Drix, where it's somehow he gets out of the boy and goes back into Frank.
Oh no!
He gets transferred back into Bill Murray.
That's gross. What the hell? How do they do that?
A mosquito. Obviously.
I guess so.
That's how we did it the first time.
Yeah, it's true.
He did see that one girl that he had dated back after the first movie. And even though they had broken up long ago, it was still nice to see her.
Oh.
After that first movie he was doing.
God, I love the first movie. It was such a good part of my life.
That first movie. I don't know about the second movie.
It wasn't a movie. It was an animated series.
That's the joke. There was no second movie.
The sheriff was still the same, disgruntled old man that he always was, and he didn't show any signs of shutting down his career anytime soon. Nobody would have had any other way either. Hold on, I need to drink water or something. I cannot do this right now. Someone
Water
do an ad
break.
read.
Water break.
Ad break.
Someone come up with a funny advertisement to add in later.
Let's see here.
Buy nicotine patch hats. Shave your head. Put them on your head. Never have enough nicotine.
Shave your head.
I'll tell you what here, Vern. My favorite thing to keep me from going ass-wall crazy is my nicotine patch hat. Now, look here, Vern. If you're ever having a hankering for them smokeroos, and them are no good, Vern, I'll tell you what right now. Here.
Ernest.
Here, you can borrow mine. Good God, I want to smoke! Vern! Where's my damn cigarette, Vern? Ah!
Ernest needs cigarettes on set 2.
Damn right! You shut the fuck up, Vern!
Ernest needs a nicotine patch.
I
on
can
his
quit
bald
whenever
head.
I want, Vern!
Good God, Vern, I'm dying.
Heart rate controls my ability to be alive, Vern.
That's some good science there, Ernest.
Vern, I need my heartbeat to keep talking to you, Vern. If I don't have a heartbeat, then I can't do anything.
I can't be annoying, and we can't have that, Vern.
I want to be annoying.
Bang, 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 bang. Vern needs annoying.
Vern, 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 Vern.
There was a Ernest reference on the Adventure Zone. It made me really happy.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Welcome back to Crossing the Line. We were just catching up with our good friends Osmosis Jones and not Drix because he's dead, apparently.
Maybe that was the second movie.
Okay. The sheriff was still the same disgruntled old man that he always was, and he didn't show any signs of shutting down his career anytime soon. Nobody would have had it any other way, either.
Looking at your glass with the scarecrow from Wizard of Oz superimposed on it.
What's wrong
Oh
with
my
that?
God.
His makeup's funny.
I've got the Cowardly Lion and Dorothy, too.
Sweet.
Anyway, that was when the chainsaw hit. Nobody could have possibly expected something so gruesome, so vile. How could they expect something like this? Blood cells from the head began rushing into the brain, flooding it and destroying the entire organ. The mayor and his secretaries attempted to evacuate. They were not able to. They were all killed by the rush of their brethren. The entire brain was eventually wiped out as the whirling blades of the chainsaw entered it.
What does this have to do with Osmosis Jones?
He's inside of him.
Oh, now? Is this a... He's like acting like this is something that happened.
No, he's like, that's when the chainsaw hit.
Oh.
The entire brain was eventually wiped out as the whirling blades of the chainsaw entered it. The entire head would eventually be sliced in half, but none of the FPD had any idea what had actually gone on. And how could they? All they understood was that the brain had shut down contact with the rest of the city of Frank. All power was lost as a result. It was almost impossible to see. It was so dark it was absolutely frigid.
Why did they have to send him back to Frank to get Frank killed with a chainsaw?
Why didn't we even get to see Frank interact with anything?
He's just there to die.
Why didn't we get to see him fucking suffer from anthrax again?
There was no, setup as to where Frank and Jason Voorhees would be in the same room, let alone him killing him.
I don't want it. Oh, man, I want to hear about him getting killed by Jason.
No, these are all instant kills.
Clearly, nobody knows pacing. Let's see. There were no nutrients being created in Frank anymore. There was no food left. What would happen? How would the citizens of Frank survive without any food? Nobody knew. Ozzy went to the slums almost every day, handing out every scrap he could to the women and children.
You lived there.
But the supply was diminishing rapidly. There would eventually stop being any, a fact that most everyone was well aware. Wars broke out, and dozens of factions fighting over the few remaining resources on Frank.
This is sad.
Some resorted to cannibalism even.
Oh no.
It was too much for some people. Autocytosis was a common option among those. None of it mattered. Osmosis Jones realized near the end. It became obvious what had happened. Frank had died, just like Drix. And soon, so too would he. TLDR, don't mess with Jason or else he commits genocide on the entire ecosystem living within you.
Okay.
Oh, that's the end?
Hmm?
Oh, okay. I give that...
It's quite the flash in the pan.
I give that an ibuprofen because I'm needing it.
You don't think Frank would like an ibuprofen?
I'm sure he would now.
I'm rating that a water balloon. It's just like hits you in the face and covers you, and it's like, whoa, oh, that's weird. Okay, now I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, true.
I'm let down. I wish the Sasuke one was the last one now.
Damn.
I mean, it's interesting that exists.
It's just so dark out of nowhere. There's no build up, it just happened and then decomposed.
The Sasuke one had pacing. Naruto went home and took a nap for 9 hours and came back
He
and
didn't
said,
go
let's
home,
spook
he
this.
stayed there.
Right. They went to sleep at 3 in the morning there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
And woke up at 12:45.
Yeah, well, they slept for 8 hours. Gotta get that 8 hours of sleep, eh, Naruto?
Yeah.
Ninja needs his rest.
Then ate breakfast lunch.
Yes.
Hey, can't eat at the big donut, though. Or the fry shop, they're closed forever.
Or the
Fresh
pizza
Up is
place.
closed for super ever.
Or Kofi.
Maybe he had to go on a rampage because he didn't know how to work his fry shop anymore. He had to close it forever. That
He
is
really
boys.
did only target businesses.
Yeah. He lost his... He
The
lost...
pizza place, the donut, the big donut,
Maybe.
the arcade.
I guess it had more thought into it than we thought it did.
He lost his mind because PD rejected Frybo. He got really mad about that.
So he put on the Frybo. He made Petey wear the Frybo costume and he suffocated.
Suicide, quote unquote.
Ronaldo's was suicide though, that's for sure.
Ronaldo is trying to disprove the afterlife. It's like,
Oh, prove it. I'll go up there and show you there's nothing up there.
Petey, don't you know there is no afterlife? Watch as I slit my wrists.
And I'll prove it.
See, if there was an afterlife, I'd be poking you on the chin and haunting you.
If there was an afterlife,
Yes, he does that.
if there was an afterlife, I'd be burning in hell right now.
He knows
Petey
what
goes,
he is.
wow, that is pretty cool. Here, I'll try.
Petey? Didn't expect it.
He didn't actually kill himself.
He blindsided himself. Like, Petey? No, I was fucking.
I was faking it!
I was fucking around.
I was doing it for my blog. It was funny.
Petey, no.
Remember, kids, suicide is never a laughing matter. Always talk to your friends if you need to. Stop playing with that!
It's closing ambience for the scary night.
It does the ch. Spooky.
Thank you so much for listening to our exciting podcast. We hope you enjoyed these spooky tales from beyond the grave. Please join us next time where we do even more exciting crossover fan fictions. With what? Who knows? You'll just have to tune in and find out. Any last words, you two?
Petey.
Eat your vegetables with butter.
I have Asperger's, Petey.
He's allowed to say that. You know why.
Shut up.